Oh man, the first time I really sat down and learned what Ramadan actually is, I mean, beyond the headlines, beyond the buzzwords, I was floored. Like seriously. All this time, I thought it was just about not eating during the day. You know, some kind of religious detox. But bro, it's so much deeper than that. I had this conversation with a friend who's Muslim. Chill, dude, disciplined as hell. And I asked him, so wait, you go like, how long without eating? He just smiled and said, from dawn to sunset, no food, no water. I was like, no water? And he nodded. Not even a sip. Bro, that hit me, because here I am sipping on water every 15 minutes like I'll shrivel up without it. But these folks, they go hours. And in some countries, that's like 16, 17 hours. No water, no coffee, no gum, no nothing. And it's not even the lack of food that blew my mind. It's the purpose behind it. It's not a punishment. It's not for weight loss. It's not a challenge. It's a spiritual reset. You see, in Islam, Ramadan isn't about starving yourself. It's about taming the ego, detaching from comfort, reconnecting with gratitude. It's about discipline, serious, soul-deep discipline, and you realize how attached we are to food, comfort, routine. We get cranky if our Starbucks order is wrong. But these guys, they'll work a 9-hour shift in the heat, tired, hungry, thirsty, and still pray, still smile, still give charity, still serve. That's willpower I can't even comprehend. And the fasting part? That's just the surface. Ramadan is a month-long boot camp for your soul. You don't just stop eating. You stop gossiping. You stop arguing. You avoid negativity. You guard your eyes, your ears, your tongue. It's like fasting with your entire body, and every time you feel that hunger creep in, that thirst, that fatigue, you remember why you're doing it. It's not just to get through the day. It's to remember. Remember the people who go hungry every day without choice. Remember that your desires shouldn't control you. Remember your creator. And bro, that kind of mindfulness, that changes a person. I remember asking, isn't it hard to stay productive when you're fasting? And my friend said, it's hard at first, but after a few days, you stop thinking about food. You start thinking about who you are. Dude, that hit me hard. Because how often do we actually pause and reflect like that? Our lives are noise. Scroll, 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 eat, work, binge watch, sleep. But Ramadan? It slows you down. And every night they break their fast together. It's called iftar. Families, neighbors, strangers. Everyone sits down, prays, and eats together. There's this sense of unity that I've never seen anywhere else. I watched a video of a massive iftar in Istanbul once. Hundreds of people sitting in the street, shoulder to shoulder, quietly waiting for the call to prayer. And the moment it echoed through the air, everyone lifted a date to their mouth at the same time. It gave me chills, man. Pure harmony. And they do this for 30 days straight. But it doesn't end there. After Ramadan, there's Eid, a celebration, a feast, a day of joy, new clothes, morning prayers, giving gifts. It's not just about ending the fast. It's about celebrating what you became during it, because if you do it right, you come out the other side transformed. And yeah, I know not everyone hits it perfectly. Some people struggle, some mess up. But the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. You try, you stumble, you try again. That's powerful, that's human, that's real. So yeah, it's wild. The whole world slows down for Muslims during Ramadan, but they're not slowing down in the way you think. They're not checking out, they're checking in. And I started realizing, man, there's a power in hunger, not just physical, but mental clarity. When you're not constantly eating, constantly digesting, constantly distracted by cravings, you start to hear your thoughts more clearly. You get quiet, you get focused. It's like everything unimportant peels away, and what you're left with is your essence. And that's when I understood. Ramadan is a mirror. It shows you who you are without your habits, without your crutches, without your little pleasures. You want to know what you're made of? Go without for a while. You'll find out real quick. And it's not just for the individual. It affects the whole community. I saw mosques stay open all night during Ramadan, people doing night prayers, Taraweeh, not just a quick prayer and bounce. I'm talking long, soul-soothing sessions, sometimes over an hour, just standing, listening to the Quran, bowing, prostrating, crying, connecting. Dude, that kind of submission? That kind of spiritual grind? I couldn't look away. And what hit me even harder, these people doing night prayers, they still go to work the next day. Still handle life, still smile, still serve. And all of it is fueled by something we don't talk about enough: intention. In Islam, the intention behind your actions is everything. You're not just skipping breakfast. You're realigning your soul. You're not just staying quiet. You're guarding your character. You're not just being patient. You're transforming. And that's what makes Ramadan so different from any challenge or trend. It's internal. It's spiritual. You can't see it on Instagram. You can't fake it. It's between you and God. And get this, while fasting, Muslims are encouraged to read the entire Quran over the month. All 604 pages. That's not just reading. That's reflection. You're filling your mind with wisdom while your body is empty. And the Quran? It's not just poetry. It's raw truth. It challenges you, uplifts you, calls you out, calls you higher. One verse said, "Fasting is prescribed to you as it was prescribed to those before you, so that you may attain taqwa." Taqwa means God consciousness, awareness, discipline, self-restraint. That's the goal of Ramadan, not just to stop eating, but to gain control. And bro, how many of us can say we actually have control over ourselves? Not many. We're slaves to screens, to snacks, to habits, to impulses. But during Ramadan, Muslims take it all back. They hit reset. And it's not easy, but that's the point. Growth doesn't come from ease. It comes from effort. I saw this video of a guy fasting while working construction in 100-degree heat. No water, no complaints, just focused. I couldn't believe it. I'd be dead in 2 hours, but he said, "The hunger reminds me that I'm not in control. God is." It humbles me. That mindset, that's next level. And I respect it. And the charity man. Ramadan is the month of giving. Not just spare change, real generosity. People give big, quietly, anonymously. You'll see strangers handing out meals on the street before sunset. Whole communities feeding the poor. One guy told me, if you want your fast accepted, you have to care for others while you're doing it. So it's not just about you. It's about lifting others too. And, honestly, I think we need more of that. In a world that's all about me, Ramadan says, let's remember us. It reminded me that discipline isn't just about personal growth. It's about being the kind of person who makes life better for the people around you. And when you see that happening at scale, across nations, millions of people aligning their hearts, their bodies, their intentions, that's not just a ritual, that's a revolution. It's quiet, it's peaceful, but it's powerful. And it doesn't end with Eid. That's the final celebration, yeah. But the point of Ramadan isn't to fast for 30 days. It's to transform for life. I asked my friend what his biggest takeaway was after Ramadan. And he said, I realize I don't need as much as I thought. I need God. I need purpose. I need peace. Simple, but deep. Now let's talk about the real mind blower. How consistent they are. Dude, 30 days of this? No break days, no cheat meals, no just this once. Every single day they show up. Before sunrise, after sunset. They stay committed. And they do it as if their soul depends on it. Because it kinda does. I kept asking myself, what's the fuel behind that? Like, what keeps someone so dialed in that they'll fast, pray, serve, give, reflect, day after day without burnout? And the answer I kept hearing was, love, not fear, not guilt. Love, love for their creator. Love for the discipline. Love for the clarity that comes with self-control. And bro, when love fuels your discipline, that's when it sticks. That's when it becomes part of who you are. That's when it goes from being a challenge to being a lifestyle. And there's something about watching Muslims come together for these iftars, especially in countries where they're the minority. Like in New York, London, Toronto, you'll see masjids packed with people breaking fast, shoulder to shoulder, kids running around, smiles, laughter, prayer, unity, and no one's showing off. It's not for the gram. It's real. That sense of community, you can't fake it. It's something built through struggle, through showing up, through sharing, and I started wondering, how many of us have that? A group that holds us accountable, that lifts us up, that feeds our body and our soul, because we chase a lot of things in the West, success, money, fame. But how often do we chase belonging? How often do we build discipline into our identity? And that's what Ramadan does. It's not just a test of willpower, it's a reminder of who you really are without the noise. And maybe that's why it hit me so hard. Because let's be real, we live in a world of distraction. We eat mindlessly. We scroll endlessly. We avoid discomfort like it's poison. But Ramadan embraces it. It says, feel the hunger, sit with it, grow through it. And that's something most people never experience. I talked to a revert once, someone who converted to Islam, and I asked him what his first Ramadan felt like. He said, it was the hardest thing I've ever done, and the most beautiful. And I got that. Because transformation isn't pretty, it's not easy, but it's worth it. He told me he cried the first night of Taraweeh. He didn't understand all the words, but the energy of the Quran, it cracked him open. And I think that's what gets people. It's not the rules. It's not the rituals. It's the connection to the divine, the connection to your higher self, the connection to people who are trying, just like you, to be better. So yeah, I started this journey just wanting to know what Ramadan was all about. But now I realize it's one of the most powerful human experiences on the planet. Not because it's ancient, not because it's strict, but because it works. It resets the heart, refocuses the mind, rebuilds the soul. And I think deep down, we're all searching for that. Whether you believe in God or not, whether you're spiritual or not, whether you're Muslim or not, we're all searching for clarity, for purpose, for peace. And Ramadan gives you a glimpse of that. So yeah, bro, I'm not Muslim, but I respect the hell out of this month. And I respect anyone who's ever made it through those 30 days with patience, humility, and faith. Because that takes real strength, not just physical, but mental, spiritual, emotional. And in a world where everything's about consuming more, Ramadan is about needing less. It's not about starving. It's about awakening. And if that's not powerful, I don't know what is.